Shamita Shetty, my goodness. I am just so excited to have you on Filme Shilmy as always. We've spoken about Black Widows, then your stint on BB OTT, and now you've wrapped up Bigg Boss 15. So Shamita,
Finally.
yes, finally you're done and dusted, I think, with Big Brother, I think generally now. So tell
Bigg
me.
Boss, yeah.
So how was I mean, just summarize me your thoughts and I guess coming out of the house and getting back to normalcy again.
Oh, it feels good to finally be out of that madhouse, back with family and friends that genuinely love me, don't judge me, and just, in my space. Because I think I've spent half the year in Bigg Boss's house, 6 months, yeah.
Yeah.
OTT and Bigg Boss 15. So it's been a really difficult 6 months.
I can imagine. I mean, just talk to me about some of the lessons you've learned, Shamita, because I think BBOTT was quite. I think the time when you went in Bigg Boss OTT, there was a lot of things going on. Things were quite extreme, I think, in your life, things that were happening to you. So I guess you must have been in a very different mindset. By the time you came out and went into Bigg Boss 15, I'm sure your mindset must have been different. So how would you best describe the lessons that both the seasons have taught you?
I think it's definitely taught me a lot more patience, has given me a different perspective on things.
Right.
It's taught me to look at things in a different way and situations in a different way. Because for me, there's always been black or white. There's never been gray. And I think this house introduced me to gray.
True.
It taught me a lot. I mean, Anuj, there has been, I've experienced such highs and lows in that house. One day you think you're okay, everything is fine, you're in your comfort zone. Suddenly, the next day you wake up to something new and you're just thrown out of your comfort zone. So it in some way makes you stronger mentally, emotionally. Yes, it's very taxing. The show is definitely very taxing on you mentally and emotionally. But in some way, in a very strange way, it also makes you stronger. You've kind of come out understanding your strength, you're understanding yourself. And it surprises you, because I was really surprised with how much crap I could really take.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was the real life, I'm sure matlab, you definitely would have snapped and probably blocked everyone. I'm pretty sure if it was the real life.
I don't think they would have done those things if they were out of the house.
True. Interesting. Yeah.
They took the liberty of saying and doing certain things and hitting below the belt because the house allows you to do it. And a lot of people, for them, it's TRP. It's to just be shown, or seen a little more on the show. Unfortunately, in the process, how many people do you end up hurting doing something like that?
True that. But then, because Shamita, I think you have gone through a lot in life. And I think what I really liked is how dignified and graceful you were in dealing with certain things, which were obviously very distasteful and very offensive. So I guess how have you managed to get that sort of a mechanism within you to just brush off people who are disrespectful and mean to you? I guess it must have taken you a lot of pain and a lot of hurt over the years to, I guess, deal with that, right?
Yes. Having said that, there's a lot that I faced in the house that I never faced outside. But when you're in the house, because that is your world, these are the people you are around, you're stuck with them for a very long time, you don't have a choice but to sort it out or let go. And that's the one piece of advice my sister gave me when I went back into the house, before I went back into the house.
Yeah.
She said to me, don't hold on to things. you know, sort it out the next day. Try and let go. The more you let go, the easier it'll be for you, for your peace of mind, which is something that I tried to do. I did struggle with a few things in between, because I'm also human and my personality is such that when I'm hurt, I naturally get, you know, go into my shell.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the hang of it after some time, you know. And a lot of people who I think came into the house with these preconceived notions of me because of who they thought I was or where I came from, a lot of them changed their opinion about me and became friends even with me. So that was nice.
It's interesting you say that, and you know, I'm glad you mentioned about what Shilpa told you before entering the house, and I find it not fascinating, but also quite interesting, because obviously when Shilpa was participating in Celebrity Big Brother here in the UK, I think the fact that she dealt with things gracefully in a dignified way, I think it really irritated a lot of the other housemates, you know, in the show, and we all saw what happened after that. Do you think that's also what it was, is the fact that you had your head on the right way, and the fact that you were dignified in your behavior? Do you think that kind of bugged people a little bit?
It could be. I don't know, to be very honest. But see, for me, that's just something that naturally came to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the values that have been instilled in me, the principles that I live by, it stays irrespective of the place I'm in, or, you know, situation I have to face. So whatever I've learned, whatever values have been instilled in us, I mean, both Shilpa and me, that's keeping that in mind, I dealt with every situation that was thrown my way. You know, I tried my best to not consciously hurt someone in the house just for a game. Compassion is something that also, I think if a lot more people had compassion, they would cause, you know, lesser pain out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, these are things that just naturally come to me. This is how I am in the outer world. So, and also I think I've been through a lot in my life that has taught me, made me the person I am today. And I really thank, you know, all those, I'm so grateful for all those experiences I had in my life, because it gave me the strength to deal with these situations.
Right. I think what I also really liked is the bonds that you had in the house. You know, I mean, even later on, we saw this little beautiful bond that you had with Rashmi also, which developed towards the latter part of the show. But of course, the OTTians. I've absolutely enjoyed every second seeing all three of you together. And let me tell you, when you all three of you fought with each other, I think we all felt like parents. You know, jab aapke bacche matlab fight karte rehte, we just feel like, oh my God, why are they fighting again? What is going on? So I think it was really nice. And I've even told Pratik and Nishant this, that all three of you reminded a lot of us like Harry, Ron, and Hermione from Harry Potter. So, so it was quite nice.
Nishant must have loved that. Because
Yes.
he loves Harry Potter, and I love Harry Potter, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, definitely. I think I remember before going on, he said that he was going to be the Draco Malfoy, and I was just like, Nishant, you're not Draco Malfoy. You're anything but Draco, please. So it was quite interesting. But you know, I asked this question to Nishant also. You know, Shamita. I feel like, you know, all three of you, Pratik, Nishant, and of course you. I feel like, see, you've all had a certain dark, very, very dark periods in your life. Like obviously, Shamita, we spoke about your condition of colitis, you know, before you went into Bigg Boss 15. Nishant has had his extreme financial struggles, you know, before he became the well-known choreographer he is today. And I think likewise for Pratik. So do you think it is this sort of dark past which has been an unsaid glue for you all to sort of gel together?
Well, speaking of dark past, I've also been through depression. So that is also that was also a very difficult phase in my life. And I don't know how, somehow we just, in a very strange way, understood each other.
Yes.
Because see, in OTT, I never got along with Nishant or Pratik.
Yeah.
But over here, we just naturally came together. I also think maybe because we were sent into the house together and we had to fight so many people. It was literally us against all of the jungle vasis, you know. So that naturally brought us together, and we took that time, I think, naturally to kind of get to know each other. You know, because we spent so much time in there. And although we fought, there was this unsaid understanding
Yeah.
between us. We always came together if we were attacked. We always came together and fought back, which I thought was beautiful. And I don't know what that one thing is that naturally made us connect, to be very honest. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, I think Nishant also, I think he also believed that it was probably just the fact that you knew each other and having that sense of familiarity, it does help a lot. But I also believe, Shamita, to what extent do you think familiarity from the outside is actually helpful for a show like Big Boss? Because there were even times, even like, for example, your Iraqi brother, Rajiv, there were also times where I think even you had a slight difference of opinions. I mean, there wasn't any rifts, thankfully, but there was obviously a difference of opinion. So do you think it's a risk to go in with people that you know because of the fact that you could go against each other anytime?
Um, See, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, it may help initially that you have, company, because the house can get really lonely. But I must say this, that house brings out the worst in you. So
Yeah.
it's not necessary that you go in with someone and you come out best friends with that person. It really depends on how strong your foundation is. If the house manages to change you as a person, then obviously your equations with people will change. So I don't know if it's really helpful to have someone in there with you. um, I I mean I when Rakesh and Neha also came in, um, when they went out, I broke.
I remember, yeah.
So, and who knows, maybe if Rakesh was there, my game would have been very different. Because in OTT, my game was very different because it was a connection game.
True.
And I'm naturally protective towards him. I'm naturally protective towards Neha. So I don't know if that would have changed my game. So this knowing somebody when you're in there and all, it really doesn't matter, because there are also people who will sit and design your tasks accordingly to make sure that there is a chance of a rift happening.
It's true, actually. That is also very true. But I also think, that a lot of the times, I mean, I used to read a lot of stuff on social media, and there was that whole sense of like, Arey, she's privileged, she went out and all of that. But I think people don't realize that, when you are having stress, when you have stress, and when you have a condition like colitis, it can really flare up and it can be very damaging, not just to your physical body, but also to your mental well-being. In terms of, because you also mentioned that you've gone through the depression, and I'm so sorry to hear that, and I'm really proud of you for being so open about it. How do you stay mentally positive, because it's so difficult to do that, and especially in an environment like Big Boss? What was that one thing that you think kind of kept you stable-headed?
I tried to meditate as much as I could. And yes, I have to also say, my friendship with both Nishant and Pratik also helped.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a very difficult place to firstly sit down alone anywhere, because there's no place where you can sit alone. You're sitting alone somewhere, somebody will come and sit with you.
Right.
But I would try to meditate every night to just let go of, the negative energies I absorbed. That was very important.
And I think also, Big Boss मैं मानता हूँ कि एक खेल है. You know, we all know what Big Boss is. I mean, you know, people like us in the UK and abroad have watched Big Brother, various seasons of that. We're aware of the concept. But I also feel that, you know, because times have changed, Shamita, because of the pandemic and more conversations on mental health now happening, do you kind of feel that maybe Big Boss also needs to maintain a more uh, I guess, compassionate stance when it comes to mental health and dealing with the housemates? Because I feel game ek taraf and mental health bhi ek taraf hai, you know? Like it's very difficult to get a balance between both. But do you think that needs to be done now?
See, I'll be very honest. It's a ruthless game. It's a game. So anyone going into that house has to be aware of the fact that this is a game. You're going to show your weakness that will be used as a tool against you. Having said that, if there was any problem, any medical issue, it was taken care of by the team. So they were always on top of the game. They were always on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had psychologists on board and all of that. So they can't, they're not going to design a task so it doesn't mentally affect you, because that's the game. That's what they look for. You're meant to discover your strength. You're meant to show your strength. When you're pushed into a difficult situation, that is when you really understand your own true strength. That's what they want from you. So it either makes you weak or it makes you strong. It makes you stronger. You last for a few more weeks. You maybe go to the end and win the show. It depends on how you perform in those difficult situations that makes people out there connect with you, relate to you.
Right.
So I don't think, like I said, it's a game. So I don't think they will, the only thing they can do is give you the right medical attention when you need it.
Right. And, you know, you celebrate 20, I mean, it's been over, 2 decades since you made your debut with Mohabbatein. I still can't believe, I mean, Ishika is still one character which I think everyone still admires and watches. So I think looking over your career that you've had, Shamita, it's certainly not been a cakewalk for you either, because of 2 things. Number one is the fact that you were known as Shilpa Shetty's sister when you came in. Even now, people still use that card, and we've seen that very much so on the show. And secondly, it's also because, you know, you've seen failure. You've observed failure from a very, very close lens. So I guess when you have observed failure from a very close lens, how does that drive you now as an actor or as an artist, or in terms of the projects that you look out for?
Well, when you've tasted failure, nothing really affects you. There was a time when it did. Now I just go with the flow and live my life one day at a time. I don't hold on to things or, you know, what I want so hard that it causes me pain. Let me just put it that way. Having said that, I'm the same person. I have always, when it comes to work, I've always valued quality over quantity. That's not something that will ever change. But I'm very happy with the kind of work that's coming my way now. There are some good scripts coming in from OTT platforms. So hopefully I will make an announcement soon.
Oh, lovely. So tell me about the sort of roles that, you know, I mean, what were your expectations? And I think we mentioned this actually when I spoke with you for Black Widows as well. But I guess when you did a big film like Mohabbatein, and then obviously you had Sharara Sharara and Chori Pe Chori. So you had so many successful songs come your way. And you've also had some notable films too along the way. But I guess, you know, how do you feel if you look back at that Shamita Shetty then, that had begun her career, and you look at yourself now, what do you think has been the greatest learning or discovery for you as a person? I mean, it's a long journey.
Shamita then was so different. I'm a stronger person today. There is a lot that I can handle today.
Mhm.
And I think I discovered that also in the house, with so many situations thrown my way, so many difficult situations thrown my way. I realized how strong I am.
Mhm.
Things don't affect me the way they used to. There are a lot of people out there who so easily judge and just wait to pull you down. Those people don't affect me anymore.
Right.
I just do my thing. I follow my path. I focus on myself, getting stronger every day, being a good human being, which for me um, is the most important thing.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, just spread a little bit of love out there, because there's so much hate.
There is so much hate. I mean, I can't even imagine how you deal with it. Like, I mean, it's difficult to handle so much hate, and the social media trolling. It just gets very overwhelming sometimes. I don't know how you guys deal with it, honestly. Because colitis, like you mentioned in the previous interview before you went in, it is a very, like, people are not aware about it. Even now, people insensitively make comments towards you about your gluten-free diet and all of that.
We saw that happening again in the house.
Yeah. So when like that, things like that happen, would you like to maybe start up like a foundation or something to perhaps raise more awareness of this, or sort of make sure that people understand the real crux of the illness as well?
Well, I think luckily through this show, a lot of people became aware of this issue. A lot of people actually tell me, and I'm happy that they've understood the problem. Even in the house, people thought that, oh, gluten-free fancy food coming in, let's steal that. And I was like, oh, give me your food. Your food looks tasty. I wish I could have that.
Yeah, exactly. At least they don't
But
have bowel problems like we do. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but like I said, I mean, I think times are changing, and people are a lot more aware of these issues, be it colitis, depression, so many issues that were not given that much importance or light before. I think there's a lot more awareness now.
Definitely. Well, on that awareness note, I would just like to thank you once again, Shamita. It's always so lovely to chat with you. And I think
It was
you
lovely chatting with you.
and honestly, you've held yourself with so much grace and dignity in the house. I think all three of you, and including Rashmi, also played extremely well, and a lot of love from the Shamita tribe to you as well. They've been
Thank you.
constantly on it, and there's so many people that I need to mention on this. So apologies for that, guys, but they're all sending their love to you, and I'm sure that
Oh,
love.
loads of love to each and every one of them,
Yeah,
including you.
lovely. Thank you, Shamita. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the very best, and I cannot wait to hear more about your future projects and hopefully have more amazing chats like this.
Yes.
Lovely.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Bye
Shamita.
bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.